Alright, and it's been quite a while since we actually did this, so convention season is mostly over for this year, and it seems that we have gotten back, and it's even the special month, so at least for the beginning of the month we are doing various nautical games with trouble in them. Most probably at least trouble, having tried some of these otherwise or played them a bit before, like what was also planned for this weekend but will most probably take place early next week. Abandoned Ship, where you have the kind of multi-interactive combat where you have to make sure you man all the positions, and it usually doesn't go very well, so. But today we are doing Sunless Sea, the first session, and we are going to play more of that because it's a pretty long game and usually not very easy. You usually keep sinking, and especially as slightly out of practice with the game, most probably we will keep sinking a lot, so. Hello there, Nerdaxic. Great to have you here, and of course, salute to you all, and greetings. So, welcome, and hopefully you are having a good evening. So, we are of course going to start gradually here with the game, and it's good to have so many of you here with our good skunk. Yeah, easily recovered from Animus, thank you. Like it took 2 days to recover, and since then was already very much fully at work the rest of the week. So do think that it was one of the more successful conventions, also in the respect that it was not too tiring at all, in the sense that did recover in a couple of days, and even more surprisingly went to Eurofluence, went to East, went to Animus, and no Conqueror, which is unusual. Like you do the really big ones and you have no Conqueror, so would say that went very well compared to the average year, where you have at least one instance of Conqueror. This year had none, which is special, because usually you do get at least one instance of Conqueror per convention year, so it's like unusual. It's been highly successful year as far as the conventioneering goes, because there's been almost no problems. And thank you for asking, of course. Yeah, it's kind of NFC has gotten so big that they will not have much to go beyond, like because the downtown Malmö is running out of places, so it's like Gothic Towers next if we ever get there. It's kind of like NFC has done the same as Eurofluence did like a decade ago, that they have become a victim of their own success. Exactly. It's kind of like going in the direction that is also becoming a convention center convention partially already, and it's nice in some aspects, but of course it's no early NFCs in like Quality Hotel Vinhaning or Utsikten meetings that had much more soul to them. Now it's like parkings in a building lot, pretty much. Yep, there certainly is very special spirit to Tallukka also, which the whole staff also really welcomed us this year. So I would say that mostly Tallukka has been very successful as far as what it is and how far it goes. Do think that it's also one of the more popular events with the whole staff when you compare to the average dance night with the average dance goers, and then you have the Animus in turn. Do think that they would prefer greatly to work at Finfair Animus compared to like average dance night with average Finnish dance goers. So would say that certainly do think that Tallukka in that respect has been good for this scale of Animus. Of course in the future again. Yeah, when you consider what kind of average dance goers, you have most probably like average Saturday dance and Animus. There's no comparison even at how much better it is. Alright, do you think that we should slowly move towards the game? It's great to have you all here again for the reintroduction of regular Fursuit gaming streams after like I had a schedule for the weekend but had so much else also on the weekend that didn't quite succeed to start as planned. But now we are starting and that's of course great day to start again as they say. So let's move towards the game and there we go. Alright, let's see if we can do something about that. Like we have apparently found a new function. It's like it has a limiter in place. Haven't actually seen that. It no longer goes to the red. So let's see if we reduce the gain a bit. We shouldn't anymore be hitting the limiter. So now it looks better apparently. Alright, let's also reduce gain a little here and see if we now can like have many items of gain. Alright, now we do actually get like 1 dB minus 1 dB at feed level here. So do you think that we are no longer clipping like at the input amplifier? So now it should be better. Because of course there's like the usual set the Fursuit gain, so you get enough sound out of your Fursuit, and especially the skunk is very good at that because it has very good moving jaw. Of course you pay for something when you get clockwork. So it's like apparently now we are no longer hitting the limiter proper in the input stage. So thank you for the observation. Alright, let's see. Yep, that's good. Alright, let's also correct another minor matter here. Moment. And we are done all together with all the issues that needed correcting to actually start playing the game. So looks good. So let's then move towards starting a new game here. There we are. So new game. And some loading. Do not think have actually run the game ever on this installation, so we need to see. There we are. So Luna played this once recently, so then we of course make choices, and most probably our first captain will sink pretty fast. We'll see. So should be interesting. Alright, let's see what happens. we need to of course choose our past so we can decide later. And do you think we are going to choose a past immediately? Ordained priest have sometimes tried the priest. Natural philosopher. Veteran of campaign of 68. A poet, of course, a poet is probably very important in this kind of a game. Unfortunately, usually it doesn't mean you're a good mariner. Street urchin, which is kind of like do think that would be interesting to do the natural philosopher. It's been a while since I've done that. These also affect certain subplots. It's not only like that you get like certain bonus. These also affect certain subplots. Do remember that the priest, for example, had some specific subplots if you got them with the priest. Do not remember what there is for natural philosopher, so it's more interesting to see that as actually. Then it's something new content-wise, so let's go with that. Plausible surgeon will serve as ship's doctor until you find someone better. That's very promising. Your peculiar theories on time, blood and starlight brought you down to the Neath, the cavern where London lies, and now they take you out to G. So that's exactly what, like shortly noting certain like lore material. So this game is based in the fallen London universe, where practically when Prince Albert would have died in the actual world, the timeline diverged in the sense that Queen Victoria made a deal with something probably quite Lovecraftian that actually took practically the city of London as a payment, and London fell to big underground cavern where also the sea is contained, and there's various mythical creature around in the cavern. It's rather different compared to the surface world, where you can also travel, but it's like only a text option adventure. You do not actually see like any surface map, so it's kind of different in that respect. But in any case, and London also replaced the previous city that had been there, so there are like antiquities and relics left from the earlier cities that had been taken to the Neath. So there we are, and we got some resources and one times plausible surgeon, so we then do have a ship's doctor until we find someone better at least. And then we choose ambition, what would be like the win condition of the game. Next. So let's contemplate winning conditions. And see what would be interesting in that respect. Have not ever actually won the game. Have played it a few times quite far and gone crazy or sunk. So have not actually succeeded at winning the game altogether as far as have played it. So let's see what win conditions we have available. And so there's like father's bones, so finally return his remains to London for a decent burial. Yes, then there's slightly more demanding goal of immortality. Then there's the quite direct that you write a masterpiece and retire, which is Then there's wealth, which is quite direct also. And this is actually requires something specific to happen, that you can have a private kingdom ambition. So do actually would like as a natural philosopher do think that would like to write a masterpiece. There we go. Your objective, London's most venerated explorer. Sounds good. Mode of address practically, and of course captain works well, so does of course citizen, which kind of is more egalitarian for sure. Let's choose citizen because it sounds quite stylish, and perhaps you're some sort of rabble-rousing enthusiast. Yeah. Addressed quality is now citizen. This is kind of like a lot of these are practically in style of like set a state. It's kind of like one of those choose option adventure games that has a lot of decoration as a seafaring game. So there we are. And we can also choose like silhouette of a captain, which is somewhat also amusing that you have different silhouettes. This is usually pretty good because it looks like a seafarer, unlike some of these look quite like fancy guys who most probably are not seafarers. This is also nice because he apparently even has a drink, so let's choose this. Usually do that one. Some of these are kind of interestingly Victorian, but not necessarily very probable seafarers. And of course we name ourselves properly after the skunk as we are playing, and there we go. And a lot of state changes again. And now we practically have started the game proper. So let's then see what we shall do next. Yes, this we know, we can get our ship set up as a submarine, as if it is not dangerous enough on the surface. Fortunately, you can also get a submarine. We do not really need advice for captains, as we know the game sufficiently. And we can sell the book for some resources, so that's the usual like start. How much crew do we have? Alright, we are missing 2 crew, so we should also hire more crew. There we are. And we even gained 3 crew. And then we go to the shops and we can sell the at least if remember correctly, you can sell the advice for beginning captains for some extra resource there. Yeah, it should be possible to sell it. let's see. Yep, here, so it's worth 50, which certainly helps because we can then buy a slightly more meaningful deck gun. If I remember correctly, it's like not very good one, and or it's a good idea also potentially to buy a light, which is also like, it would be nice to have a better light, but it's like 100, so most probably not at this time. Better, let's see if there's actually Mark II, so do things like that. That's as good as we have, yes, so and as we have 5 supplies, it's not like we could sell 2 of those to buy a light, so apparently we do not quite yet have a light, but that leaves possibility to buy some extra fuel, which is probably much more useful to have. And then we have a potential passenger. Gator's Moon. Now, do wish we knew where it is, because the map is somewhat randomized. Alright, and we should always read the news, because there specifically is some places are interested in news, and usually it's pretty much the same kind of news. The Canada is threatening war, they always are. That's pretty much the case, because there's also the city of Karakorum is in the need, because it fell earlier, and there's like a somewhat Chinese style Canada also in the need, which tends to be difficult to deal with. And we also had a promotional coupon for salt herring, which provides a bit of supplies. We do not quite yet have the coin, for example, for purchasing an elegant townhouse for 1,000, yes. Long time to that. Alright, so let's then see about we are not going to take the Plemmican along currently, and what else? We hired more crew. We could also offer passage to a tomb colonist, and that's quite easy mission to take them to Venderbright in the north. So let's go north, and we have fuel, we have supplies, and we currently don't have that much else to find in London, as there's no use in visiting Admiralty Survey Office until we have port reports, which requires actually visiting outlying ports. University is useful only once we have something that interests the antiquarian, and we already have enough crew. Our ship, at least yet, doesn't have holes in it, so we do not need to put it into the dry dock, so we could most probably move move out of London. Wherever that button is, those that haven't played this for a while. Alright, most probably it's just like, yes, now we can launch as we left the event window proper. Alright, there we are. Yes, we do practically understand how we can acquire a submarine. I'm sure if you want to acquire one anytime soon, considering how easy it is. Would be also nice to have a better light, but that also costs money. So we go with limited vision. Alright, let's see if we can do something about that. Yes. All right. And we found a box full of mystery. Fair enough. All the fabric. Alright, spider silk. Not too bad. It has some resale value, so that was not too bad for results from fighting. Alright. And we will move on soon. So let's keep moving. And alright, there's some land. Carissa's Point, good, so we are moving approximately in the right direction. Alright. Try to not beach ourselves. And arriving in Vendobite could gain a secret. Nice. We can also sell secrets to the antiquarian, unsurprisingly. Alright, let's see if we can shoot at a bat swarm. the bat swarm went away with like good. We can gain maybe some free food out of those. We are not worried with terror, so we gained supplies and gained a bit of terror, which isn't too bad. Then we turn around and actually arrive in Vendobite. There we go. And the tomb colonist is happy, but is also missing something. It's nice to have a vague commission. Mangrove College, that's very far away from London, so that will be interesting trip at some point. Yep, it's somewhere in the south of the Undersea, and it's very far away. At least last time when I saw the Mangrove College a couple of years ago, it was like the other side of the world. And the tomb colonists also made their journey, so we get some reward for that, most probably. Alright, and again minor correction here, so short break with the image feed also. And there we go. So let's then see about rewards from the tomb colonist. And of course, would be pleased to hear how your weekend went. This one was at least happy that there was like a normal weekend. Was not too busy in the usual respects lately. So was quite pleased with the weekend. It was calm. And otherwise, of course, let's finish with delivery of the tomb colonist, and then we have to actually try and find something for them. We call for help. We should have a submarine for that. We also should have a submarine for the specialized collector. We need to have more terror to actually have a shore leave. And of course we got a gossip for the port report. And then we move to let's explore the town. Alright. Someone just comes encounters us on the street and beheads themselves. Yep. Lamentable relic. Alright. Interesting encounter, certainly. So we should also visit the first curator, because there's a specific mission here. It's quite difficult one, which pretty much lasts the whole game, but we should also start that out. And we should try and find the colors of the needs, which are kind of interesting. And we are missing then all the very interestingly named colors, like Cosmocone, and these are found in different places around the needs, and these have stylish descriptions. So then we need to find and we can also ask about the Grand Sanatorium, which is the other plot point here, in addition to finding the colors of the needs. And indeed, that's all they will explain for now. So we depart, and there isn't that much else to do currently in Vendobyte, so we are ready to go back to the sea. There are a few places close to London we also should visit, so let's make a small local tour. And as we see, we have this far found the route north to the Vendobyte. And usually somewhere here there are also places we would like to visit, so let's take slightly diagonal route like this, and then return to London. Alright. So let's then start on as described the intended course. So let's move in slightly diagonal course, and of course check we have enough fuel. We do 11, so we are going to run out of food soon, which is like great idea. We have enough fuel, so we run out of food first. Do not think Tanakh Shuk even had a port. Let's check the map. Most probably not. Alright, another bat swarm, which of course means more or less free food. As long as you have only so much terror that you can keep eating the bats. Because if you're close to going crazy, you certainly shouldn't eat the bats. But as long as you are like theoretically fine, mentally you can keep doing that for free food out on the cheap. Alright, and we directly arrive at the port. Yeah, this is Hunter's Keep, which has 3 sisters that are kind of concerning, and they like news, which was one of the ideas why you always read the papers in London, because you can then take news to the outlying places. Spy on the house. Let's actually first do that, because we do have 75% of success. And we see one of the sisters playing piano. And we gained some fragments which are useful for combining into secrets. And we now know something about the sisters, the Hunter's Keep. Then we reconnoiter the island, so we get port report, and then we finally formally present ourselves at the house. And then we can have luncheon, and we can choose like we have recent news, but apparently we do not have enough faith that we could practically, because something awaits you is, so we have nothing awaiting us in the port, so we can't actually tell news. We can have lunch with one of the sisters, and of course, like, we are not doing too bad mentally yet sanity wise, so we can have lunch with the more dramatic one. We gain terror, but we also gain Tale of Terror, which is useful, and we gain supplies, so clearly, yes, they told a somewhat blood-curdling story. An axe, a net, blood on scented water, yes. We clearly heard a tale of terror. Very good, and we have done practically what we can currently do in Hunter's Keep. We still have 10 fuel, so we can check if we can find further islands close by. The map is somewhat randomized, so what can remember from like earlier games does not necessarily apply to the overall geography of the needs, because the map is partially randomized at least. Alright, and we've been playing soon for an hour. We are doing the usual 1.5 hours for now, at least. Also this month, maybe special longer stream further into this month, but we are doing the usual length for now, especially as of course this one is after about half an hour or slightly more, would like certainly to have a coffee break, so looks like good timing. So let's then move out again. And we can launch directly as we have no issue here, and let's check map. There should be something here about, possibly. We can't totally know the map until we explore, so. Alright, there's the lightship. They also like news, so let's. Alright, we get to shoot at the oral megalops if we want, but it seems the crab insists on going elsewhere, and we do not mind. Or not, so. We didn't even take damage, that was quite well. And we successfully dissected it and gained 25 fragments. And then we can go to the lightship. We can purchase fuel for twice the usual price, but fortunately we do have still good amount of fuel, and we can speak to the crew because we have recent news. And we gained a G story. And we lost some terror, so having tea at the lightship is usually helpful. We have only now 4 terror, so we are still doing very well, sanity wise. So let's then see about moving on. As we still have good amount of fuel, we can still explore a bit more in the vicinity of the lightship. There should be further places. Oh, there's Modern Island, so we can also visit the somewhat weird Modern Island. And time still passes there, unlike at some point. Time may stop passing in Modern Island, which is not a good thing. Alright, there's the dock, because there's so much fog that it's actually very hard to even see the dock. As said, time is passing on Modern Island. We can pick up a cat for ship mascot, and of course considering Comatose ferret is kind of so we pick up another mascot. It's of course to have also costs 3 times supplies, but we can also buy supplies, buy fuel. Neither of those is the greatest idea considering the prices, but we can also explore the shore. We can turn the situation around because we have stories for them, so let's do so. It's always nice. And we gained good amount of fragments. That was nice moment with storytelling. And we can also chat to the fisherman, which gives us the port report for one money. Good, and now that we can also change mascots so that we have the cat as a mascot, which of course agrees well with our temperament. The Comatose ferret is kind of uninteresting. It's usually comatose unless it bites you when you greet it, unlike the grumpy cat. So maybe we prefer the grumpy cat. There isn't that much else. We also, if we had a submarine capability, there would be additional mission here. We can go and drink in the pub on the island, but we don't really find that much need for that either. And we have one crate of supplies left, which should be sufficient to travel back to London. So it would be our next course of action. So let's do so and travel back to London next. So there we go through the fog. Right, our supply situation. Ah, that was land. Very well thought it was like a submerged reef. Fortunately, one doesn't take that much hull damage from grounding. And we return to London after we can see from the map, doing a little tour of the surrounding area. We could most probably and would most probably make a sacrifice to Storm, but unfortunately and we couldn't, as it was of course ill luck that we get that exactly when we have 0 supplies, so we can't actually make sacrifice to Storm. Oh well, hopefully we won't have anger of the Storm. Ah, revenue men, and we have no contraband, so we can let them do their worst. And we can declare all controlled goods because we have none, so collect messages from the harbor master. Someone wants to sign on. And visit the rose market and everything else also. Consider a specialist surgeon. Yes, we currently already have the plausible surgeon. He probably won't saw the wrong limb off. That's like very promising approximation of his capabilities as the ship surgeon, one might suspect. So then we see what things Alright, that clears that matter, and then we move on to London and see what we find there once again. So we of course should visit our lodgings and read the papers, so we pretty much have the same news. We do not really yet need to rest, because now we can visit the Admiralty Survey Office as we have port reports for Hunter's Keep, which is quite close, so it gives you only 5 coin and 1 fuel, which is helpful because you have to spend less coin than on fuel. Vendor bite also gets a bit more, but still it's not like money party. Quaker's Haven is also 5 because it's so close. And that's pretty much what we currently can offer to the Admiralty. Now that we have a secret, we can also visit the university. And the scholar is now happy to... We have the lamentable relic, we can also give that to the scholar, and usually it's quite useful purpose to give it to the scholar. Which is, you have to have enough favor with the antiquarian to get more items. Let's leave the university for now. And we have a new recruit. We do not currently have interest in other than buying more supplies at least, so let's see. 20 a piece and we have 64. It's kind of not going to get a better light anytime soon at this rate, but it's usually, especially the beginning of the game, you will not be very quickly getting major improvements for the ship either. So let's then consider what we are going to do, at least more supplies, but we do have recent news, and we actually have the bolt of spider silk, which is worth something. Yes, and that's actually very good. Very good. 50 more, which gives much more maneuvering space monetary wise, so that was actually a good fight from the pirates. So let's see then about what we should buy. We should at least buy some supplies. 5 is already like pretty good. And we should buy some fuel. That was pretty much what what we had resources for. We can also we should fix our ship, but we are not really able to yet resource wise, so let's see what things are looking to be bought in the rose market. Moves in the great game, these can be sometimes found from the surface docks to the south. Watchful curious, alright. Very well. Now we again have resources to go to the sea, so we should most probably consider that next. So let's see about going to the sea again and gathering more port reports also. So let's go south until we find also the surface docks and see if we can get moves in the great game. You can often find those from the surface docks, so through the fog we go. And then we have slightly longer trip. No land in a while. Yes, we draw near the canal to the surface, so there we are. We can travel to the surface, which requires enough fuel, which is like 22 fuel. It requires a lot, like ship almost full of fuel. So onto the surface Gossip, and as said, now we do have 1x moves in the great game after the bar fight provides us with clues. As said, you can sometimes get and then we have very short port report on the canal to the surface, because it's not like the least known part of the under chair for Londoners. that wouldn't want to fight with ship in this condition, so good. Let's for now return to London and we should be able to sell moves in the Great Game, if not in the Rose Market, at least to the Admiral. That was close. And we are approaching London again gradually. That's pretty short route overall. Another Megalops also. Kind of borderline if worth fighting, not necessarily. Because it would be nice to have some improvements on the ship. There we are. So we collect messages from the Harbour Master. And now we can also have a gift from the organized crime, and that's of course. We can accept it and we get some fuel supplies, and now we are a bit sus, as some might say, and we later need to actually transport contraband. For now it's mostly, let's see if there's still interest in the Rose Market for the moves in the Great Game, which gives us 75. Pretty good. I think we have much to offer to the Alarming Scholar, and we can offer to the Admiralty. We can also submit moves in the Great Game here, but then we can provide port report for 5. As I said, it's very well-known place to London because it's like their contact to the surface, so it's not the least known place in the Needs by far. Alright, and let's then see about apparently we still have latest news, so no need to read the latest news. Now we can again buy more fuel and supplies, which is apparently our favorite pastime. We do have 16 fuel and 7 supplies, as our good Mr. Gangster gave us some bonus, so actually for once we can buy some improvements for the ship, which is of course would be nice to have at some point a better light, but don't think there's that much yet worth getting for the ship, as elderly steeple engine is also the same as we have had. And we do have recent news, so it should be possible to sail directly with this loadout. So let's also check like when the game autosaves, going to quickly check that so we know we have saved, because it's in Invictus mode, so it doesn't offer manual saves. Alright, so it saves when you dock. Fair enough. So we are getting close to the 1.5 hours, but let's do one more outing with the ship, as we also had the 7 minutes starting time, so let's compensate that and do about 13 minutes more, so there's easily enough time for some exploration, as we do not really know about how the map stands, because it can change somewhat between sessions, and we haven't yet on this installation had any sessions, so to the fog we go. Mr. Crane's fire, yeah, that's only like a lighthouse, we can't interact with that. Alright, we haven't actually yet visited Abbey Rock, so let's do that as we are not that far away and we have fuel and supplies, so we can burn a bit of those to visit Abbey Rock, as it's good to have a port report. Right, and directly to the ground. I was wondering which side of the Abbey Rock the port actually is on, and of course on the opposite, so tour around the Abbey Rock. And there we are. Water dock. We can trade supplies for money, which is kind of like with this amount of money not useful. Compile port report, and we can actually now knock at the gates as we have new news. Reduces terror. We can also search the surroundings, and we have beginner's luck, so someone died here. And we gained another lamentable relic and revelatory chart. This is important. It gets a lot of good attention from the Admiralty. And outlandish artifact, which is also once per game something pleasant will happen. This is quite good. And we gained 5 terror. 21 is still alright. We are not going insane anytime soon. And there was a visitor, which refers to the island of Visage, where everyone normally wears some kind of animal mask, which might sound faintly familiar, which was why the person dead on the island pretty far from Visage had a frog mask, so that explains that. So now we at least had some beginner's luck also tonight, so that's good. Also, of course, feel free to comment on anything on the chat, ask questions, or tell how your weekend has been. And now we move on still some, as we have some game time left. As said, we'll honor the 1 hour 37 minutes, as we have the 7 minutes starting counter. We could have also observed the monastery, but let's leave that for another time to spy on the sisterhood. And we still have 12 fuel and 5 supplies, so we can quite easily push it a bit more. Alright, station 3. It's this close in this case. Wow, that's actually like a secret operation thing by the Londoners, as one would guess from the name. It's something covert. So of course we are interested to find out more. Let's try and spy on station 3. Machinery hums behind high steel walls. We may infer a station 1 and a station 2. We may conjecture a station 4. We get a port report this way. And then we can try to search for signs of visitors, which is 60%, so let's throw the dice. Success. Pile of worn tools. 10x fragment for secrets, so try the gate. We can try the gate and something may happen. And nothing happens. So that was our, for now, for our visit to the station 3. And to think that, let's check the map next. Looks like we can return through this area also. London is there. And we should have enough supplies and fuel to make it. Right, and we should have pretty good course for London, yes, and we can go a bit north. There might not be anything here, but at least we have explored it. Ah, we discovered Field Haven. Let's visit Field Haven. Nice. Ah yes, this is the famous aisle where they tell a lot of confusing tales. Compile a port report, yes. Yeah. Let's hear about the 3 graves. And now we have a G story and memory of distant shores. The Kellonate, right. They're hunters. They killed a turtle the size of London. Yep, that's actually true. So the story isn't that untrue. Because we will find the Kellonate later. A ship from Kellonate came by hunting the midnight whale. 3 of them had died cowards, so their bodies couldn't go into the sea. They paid us for the land in whale ivory. I still got peace, but I keep it safe. It might actually be totally true, unlike many things at Shepherd's Isles. So we could hire also more crew here, but for now we are saving money for improving the ship, as we can hire more crew, yes, but we should also improve the ship, and towards London we go. And once we get back there, we finish the stream also for tonight there and see who we will raid. But now it's time to sail back. Right, we are well on our way. There we are. And it's been saved, so as the game was saved, we can practically finish here, so there we are. And thank you all for joining. We are going to next see who we will raid, and for now we'll first of all wish you a pleasant rest of the Sunday, and hopefully you enjoyed our first session with Sunless Sea. And of course tomorrow we are doing a different game, probably a relaxing one. We'll see which. It also has a nautical theme, of course, so we are doing something water and or sea related also for the relaxing games. This of course is very much a Lovecraftian suspense game. It's one of the best games in this one's opinion at all, so we'll be doing a lot of Sunless Sea this month, certainly. So hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see who we will raid. So some more waves to you. Thank you all for joining for the first session this Gothic Appreciation Month, which is themed Nightmares of the Sea. And let's see who we will raid. Shots is doing fast mode. Albi Dragon is doing Pokemon something. Blade Wolf is doing some racing. Cable Protection is doing something called Black Desert. And they do not have that many viewers. Let's see what Mr. Cable is up to. Alright, looks like an action game. Alright, let's do shots. We haven't raided the Panther for some time. So after some consideration, didn't really care for the action game, so let's do shots and see how they do in Phasmo. Indeed, Kisu, we do have the Tricon hat on because we were a sea captain in Sunless Sea. And of course also greetings to Kisu. Apparently you, unless you were here earlier, you apparently joined exactly when we finished for tonight. So it was like we played almost 1.5, slightly over 1.5 hours of Sunless Sea. So tomorrow there will be more gaming. So also waves to Kisu. We are of course going to raid Shads, as was saying, Shads doing Phasmo. So let's raid Shads and we'll be finishing for tonight. And of course good to hear that you got home, Kisu. Noticed that you had kind of a tour of duty at the summer cabin and everything. So thank you all for joining and let's raid Shads. There we go, that should do it. Yes. We'll see tomorrow and there will be new schedule published tomorrow for the coming week and thank you all. We'll see tomorrow. Hopefully you will have good luck at sea as we saw. We will.